Morning, y'all. Early start. Got to get the door lit, do some filming, because I'm playing tennis at 11. So answer to yesterday's question, driver should be delivered toe up, and it ranges depending on your height. I can range between 6 to 10 degrees toe ended up. The biggest problem I see from students is they do get it flat on the ground. I've even seen drivers toe down. What you want to do, I'm nearly out of syrup, is you want to just set your driver up maybe in front of a reflection or a mirror and look how it lies toe up. High handle deliveries will always get that driver delivering almost flat to the ground, subject to your height and then how high you deliver. You have got things like shaft droop in there as well that will put it down a bit more onto the ground. Drivers shouldn't be delivered flat like irons. Common misconception. Right, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but let's get the door lit. So today's question, I play with a lot of golfers who seem to moan a lot. Some say the greens are too fast, some say the greens are too quick, those kind of ideas. What speed of greens would you prefer to putt on and why? Go on, hit that comment section down below. Do you want them really fast? Do you want them really slow? You want them just medium and friendly? Let me know, because I have no idea. Some people say they're too quick, the other person says they're too slow. Hit that comment section up, thumbs up while you're down there, and remember, there's a subscribe button down there. It's good, it works, it makes you subscribe to the channel, which is free, and it just means you get notifications every time I post, as long as you have that bell icon nicely illuminated. Right, today's swing's a good one because he sent me his quad numbers or his GC2 numbers. He's got lots of decent movements in here. What his numbers show me is he hits quite a long way up. He's hitting 4 up. His path is a little bit left. He's saying he's struggling with cuts, low toe strikes, and he doesn't get the club very toed up as well with his driver, which is what we've been talking about today. So I'm going to give him some feelings more built around what his numbers are doing, which I would like him to practice, and maybe he can repost at us to see if they moved his numbers or not, because I reckon there's a lot of good in here. And what a lovely morning it is. Nice burnt links course. UK summer burnt, fiery links courses, always good fun. So first ideas, with your club path going 2 or 3 or whatever it is left, to move it right, I would challenge you to think about angle of attack. So think about this. So this player has told me he's got a 7.5 degree driver. If I have a 7.5 degree driver, and I've had that kind of loft in my hands, I've got a 9 at the minute, but I've actually upped it to an 11 to try and help me a little bit with my ideas of shape and friendliness. So what I mean by that is people react to loft. If I've got 11 degrees of loft here, and this came about when we did a club swap. Videos will come soon. Me and Coach did a club swap where I used his, he used mine. He uses loads of loft, I use not much. And I found his driver really easy to draw and turn over. I found it really easy to shape it the way I like to see it. Not always, but sometimes. Because with 11 degrees of loft, I feel like I can get going through the ball feeling like I'm taking loft off slightly. So not a punch shot, but feeling more like a punch shot. So more kind of almost this way as I come through. Now when I have my 9 degrees of loft in my sub, it fades a little bit. It doesn't launch as high as maybe some other drivers I've used in the past. So what happens is I feel like I'm coming this way at it, so handle is more back. That's always going to move my path fractionally more left, which is where I find this one tends to go a little bit more with a fade. Changing it to 11 degree loft helps me get both sides. I feel like I can shape it both ways. So if I went up to 13 with this one, I kind of feel like to get the ball not going too high in the air, I would only get jaw shape. So I kind of trying to find that loft that allows me to move path both ways. So think about that hoop on the ground. The more I'm hitting up at the ball, so you're 4 up, no loft, feeling like you need to hit up to launch it, the more left my path will go of where it would be traveling if it was 0. That doesn't mean left out to in, because if when the club gets to around 0, so kind of at its lowest point, if that path at that point is 4 right, by the time I get 4 up at it, that path will start evening itself out to be more straight. Again, think of that hoop that I used to use, that hoopy. 0, if it's before the ball and it's pointing right at that point, further on as you hit up, it's going to be going slightly further left. I might try and do a diagram for this one as well, because it's a little bit more complicated. So first thing I'd really like you to try is up that loft. Get yourself an 11 degree driver, then feel like you're hitting the ball almost with less loft. So feel like you're hitting it almost this way as you come through, where at the moment you're having to really obviously add loft, put loft on that club with your angle of attack, also with your dynamic loft, but that's not miles off, to try and get your launch. Get the loft up on that club and show me if it moves your path. I absolutely think it will. Right, let's have another quick go at this angle of attack. So if you look at the curvature of this stick and think of it as the club coming down and hit the ball, the upward path, so when it's going up, it's going more left than when it's going down. So when that club is starting to go up, he's 4 up, it's going more left in direction than when it's going down. Now I don't want him to hit down, I just want him to experiment with hitting up or down. So I want you to try and feel, if you get on that simulator again, change that angle of attack number. You could move ball position back a little bit to see what that does. You could feel like you're pushing your hands through forward more, see what that does. You could try and get a feeling like you're moving more through to try and change angle of attack. To be honest with you, I don't care out of which one of them and other ones you do. If you can change the angle of attack number, I'd be very interested to see how it moves your path. It works for a lot of students that I play with, ones who've come to me saying they've been practicing trying to change club path shape shot for years, and I just say, well, try and feel like you're not hitting up at it so much. Feel like you're maybe hitting more level with the ground on the ball, those kind of things. So still pulling handle up, but feel like the club's moving along the line of the ground rather than feeling like it's going up. Even to just putting something low out in front of them, saying just hit your ball under that to change their attack often. It changes path. And they go, cool, I've never been able to change path. Well, loft, angle of attack severely dictate what path you need to swing on.
Let's answer your questions.
Hey Mark, I'm really enjoying the daily vlogs. Love getting your tidbits of information every day. So today I had a range session and I tried out some of your different swing thoughts. How many swing thoughts should I be focusing on at a time? I went one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Can I focus on more than one during each swing? Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, bro.
So for me, that's about defining practice and play. When I'm playing, I would like to have one thought, and often that thought is more target based than swing based. Does that make sense? So I want to start the ball right here. So it's about really visualizing where I'm starting the ball rather than how I'm going to swing. So that'll be more in a setup and a feel of where it's going to go. But when I'm practicing, let's take my chipping for example. I'll experiment with many thoughts to just try and find one that works and find one that gives me any level of consistency. So at the moment I've got a feeling of pulling the handle up and left as I come through. Work nicely. So feeling of handle coming from low to high as I come through, which pushes the club down. And for me at the moment, it feels like it interacts with the ground nicely. I might have a setup thought which is then dropped as soon as I'm set, and then a swing thought, so you could class that as 2. I would struggle to have 2 or 3 swing thoughts, but I might do that on the range again just to kind of get a feeling of which one might feel like it can give me any level of consistency. And that is the true test. You need to test your swing thoughts, test your management of swing thoughts. That's what you do on the range. Take the one that gives you the most consistency and take it out onto the course. So he delivers the lie of the club 3.5 toe-ended up. So today we've been talking about toe-ended up. Now I don't know his height, but I reckon if we moved him to 5 or 6 toe-ended up, we would also see his path move more to the right. I tend to see people with toe-ending down, often not being able to control face the path, and certainly not being able to control path how they wish they could. We see his impact position where he does stand up and he gets quite crunched, not really opening up. It's a bit of an exaggeration drill, but this will really help you get that club flinging out in front of you. It'll change dynamic lie slightly, but more importantly, it'll also push path a fraction more to the right. You've got to remember, we're really talking like 3 or 4 degrees with you, so it's small differences. So I want you to feel as you start your downswing, you tend to let the shaft lay down, which I quite like, but you don't tend to open your body up. So what happens is you come in to hit the ball, you just start crunching everything up, which is putting you across the ball. I want to see you Trying to feel like as you flatten this shaft down that you're really opening up your body, so hips and shoulders really turning around to the target. Bit of an exaggeration kind of pump drill I do with people to get the feeling of this. You want to really feel as you start down, that club starts laying down, that right knee's almost going forwards, left knee back, so forwards as in this way and a little bit this way. So really over exaggerate hip and shoulder turn, and then feel that club just flinging out at the bottom. Whenever you get people's deliveries handle orientation, so lie orientation slightly changing, it amazes them how much they move path at the same time, and it makes them realise that them trying to think of path just two-dimensionally, shot from behind down the line, thinking this is inside and this is outside, which I've said now for a number of years. People reference that to plane. It does not relate to path, even though there are still people out there saying it does. It does not. And what happens with people who are relating this to inside and this to outside is they don't have any manipulation of path. Where you get them to start understanding dynamic lies, you find they can actually move path much more to order, because they stop thinking about shaft plane angles. So again, I want you to just let that shaft just lay down like you're doing, but open hips and shoulders up, almost loads on the way down, couple of pumps of this drill, then try and hit a shot feeling same ideas. Hips and shoulders going much more this way, almost exaggerating, just to try and feel like that club at the bottom is being flung out to the ball rather than handle lifting up. If we can get that lie around 5 toed up, your path would change your angle of attack by 2 degrees. You're going to have a lot of good shots in you. Right, it's the end of the week. I've done that wrong. And we're going into town to get some food. Mrs. Parfield's had her hair done. Lali's played football. She's walked forever today at school. I'm sure you've jumped off something today. No!
She jumped off 10 things.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Drag me away. There we go. What a lovely evening, everybody. See you all on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Dad, it's Friday today. Why
It is Friday today, yeah.
Let's have fun. Let's have
say the
fun
wrong
today. Yeah.
I can edit, people. You can edit in video.
Yeah, but why are you not doing video on like weekend?
Because I like to have a little rest.
Yes,